Today we're going to talk about can lights and how to install them. Nathan Cox here, guys. Thanks for joining us today on Around the Home. I'm going to discuss can lights and how to install them. This is something that's been around, can lights have been around for a long time, and they kind of went out of style for a while for whatever reason, but they're really definitely back because so many people don't like lights hanging down. They want everything recessed to give you as much clean, open space in your room as possible. And the can lights easily accomplish that, okay? Now, first of all, we got to talk about what kind of project you're working on before you can decide which kind of can light you want. This is a standard 6-inch can light. I mean, we got the 6-inch opening right here, okay? But this is a new construction can, okay? Now, when you talk about, there's also the old work box can lights or your remodel can lights. It's the same thing, people just call them different things. In electrical, you have your new work boxes, your little blue boxes, you know. Those ones are made for new construction where you got the studs still open in the walls, the ceiling still open, and then you have your old work boxes, which is for remodels, and they got little special tabs to hold on the sheetrock. The can light's the same way, it's those little blue boxes basically. The remodel can light will not have these sliders because these sliders are what, you know, nail. I would say a screw, but I think most of them all have nails in them still. Will nail into the ceiling joists. And then your remodel one won't have those at all. And your electrical box will actually be kind of on a flexible arm. That way you can shove it up into the hole, and then you have clips for the drywall. Now I don't have that today, we're not talking about that today, but I wanted to make that very distinctly clear so you get the right one at the store before you get home to do your project, okay? So first things first, we've identified which kind of box we need. I've got open ceilings here, so I got the new construction can light. 6 inches, your most common, easiest to find bulbs for, a lot of. Okay, now next thing you do is you got to mark where you want to put them. Okay, I've already done that. To keep this simple, I'm not going to show you, you know, that's kind of pointless for this video. I'm showing you how to install it, okay? You're gonna have to figure out where you want to put them yourself. For those of you who are wondering, well, what's the regulations, or there really isn't, okay? When it comes to where you want to put your lights, it's really up to you, okay? Where do you want to stick them? How do you want to arrange them in your room? That's a personal preference kind of thing, okay? But if you want to know, I've got, in this room here, this room is an 18 by 20, and I've got 2 rows of 3. So I'll put 6 can lights in this 18 by 20 room, which is going to give it a lot of light, okay? And then I just spaced them out evenly, you know, for each row, you know, which came out to be, well, I do have this boxed out area up here, so it ended up being 45 inches apart from each other, but it would have been a little bit further apart if it had been for that boxed out area where the ductwork is, you can see. Anyways, let's get to work in here. Okay, now before we get very far, and definitely before we put it up there, we need to get the electrical set in place, okay? So we're going to open up the electrical box, and let me explain what I mean here. All right, now this one here has these awesome quick connectors, okay? This is a Halo brand light that I bought at Home Depot, and it's actually got LED lights to come with it too. So it's got the LED light with the trim kit and everything, and this comes in a 4-pack, okay? So it's really cool. But see this right here? You got this, the clamp connectors, okay? And this is a 3/8 size, but it's, the 3/8 is kind of what they call the tradesman size, but it's a 1/2-inch knockout, which is going to fit any of these standard holes, okay? This is a very common thing. Let me get this even closer to the camera. Okay, I'm not sure it's going to properly focus like that. Okay, there we go. See, it's just got 2 screws, and it has a nut on the back side. Okay, and you gotta get this, you want to get this ready ahead of time so that you're not up there trying to do this in between the ceiling joists, okay? Definitely same thing goes for the remodel box if you're still watching this. Now you're gonna want to figure out, because there's punch outs all over the place. So you got 2 here, you got 3 here, and 2 here. And that's a little almost a little overkill, but let's figure out, okay, this is gonna sit, okay, in my ceiling, it's gonna sit like this. Okay, my electrical is gonna be coming, so I'll put it this way, electrical will be coming straight at my box. So I'll just bring the electrical straight in and out, right up top will work. So even though my wires aren't in place yet, I like putting the fixtures up first, and you want to put this in place. And you definitely want to add these to it. Some people are like, you don't really need those, you can just shove the wires in there. But you really don't want the wires, you know, if something gets yanked down the road, someone's fishing for some wires or something, or just rubbing up against the sharp of the edge of the box, you don't want that, okay? Now, you can screw the nut on, and then I've got this cool wrench here, which I can put an Amazon link in the description down below, okay? And this wrench here, let me probably stand right here so it'll focus. Would you focus? Okay, there we go, you can see it now. Okay, it's actually made, it's got this hook, big hook end on this side, and see, it's made, put my hand behind it so you can see it, and it's actually made for those nuts. It's pretty awesome. But you can honestly just use a straight screwdriver to kind of force the nut tight too. You can just stick it, because they got big notches. And you want to make sure the screws are facing in a direction you can reach them to tighten the wire up after it's installed. So what we've done is we've added our wire connector here, a wire clamp. Sorry. We know which kind of connectors we already have. We've got quick locking connectors, so we don't need extra wire nuts, so we know that. And we're going to close that box back up so that we just don't lose it, okay? Because we'll add the wires later during the wiring part. This is going to be the install of the can in this video. Now, before you get this up in place, there's one more thing that we need. Most cans have a locking screw right there. It's normally a 1/4 inch, so I've got a 1/4 inch hex driving bit here. You can see I can loosen it up. Oops, I actually just took it all the way out. What that does is when you get it in place, it tightens it up, and then it can't slide this way, left or right anymore, okay? So you want to make sure that it's loose enough, so for right now, we can slide these. And a lot of times I just do one, okay? Make sure you have whatever tool you need to tighten that up right after we get this nailed in place. All right, now at this point here, we're ready to actually install it into the ceiling. And most can lights have little notches on the edges here and here, which kind of give you that center line right across the can, okay? Now when you install it, this ring, see here, this ring right here, and this plate is gonna go flush with the bottom of the joist, okay, right? And then this lip that's right around the circle of the actual can is going to protrude past the wood, and that way when you install the drywall up around here, the drywall will become flush. Actually, this will probably just be a hair underneath the drywall, but you can use your RotoZip, which I have a great video on that. It's an older one, but it's a good video. You'll see at the top right of your screen pop up how to cut this out with your RotoZip when you bit the drywall up, okay? Anyways, that being said, like I said, this goes flush so that the actual part of the can is actually hanging past, okay? Now, when you get this up here, pay attention to which way the electrical is gonna go, because this one isn't gonna matter. I got extra room here, so it doesn't matter if it's gonna go that way or that way. It really doesn't, but sometimes you're in a tight spot, so pay attention before you get yourself stuck, okay? So you're just gonna stick it up, okay? Put the can, sometimes there's the little tabs there that have the nails that get bent in, so make sure they're straight, okay? You got your line that I've already put up here, lining it up with that center notch there in the can. Now we're just gonna nail it in place. Okay, and now we can slide the can over to the other side. Make sure that's centered as well on our mark. I've got marks on both joists. Okay, it's nailed in place, okay? Now, this whole left and right thing, we've got to figure out where we want that so that we can set it. And I know someone's going to yell at me because I wasn't wearing safety glasses here, nailing this up, because something could have fallen in my eyes. So, okay. Don't do as I did, do as I say. Wear safety glasses so that some dust from the ceiling up here doesn't fall in your eye and get stuck, or something else, okay? Because that is smarter. But I forgot, it's too late. All right, I just really want to center mine and then lock it in place. Now it won't move left and right, so when you're installing the sheetrock, it doesn't move, okay? I've already taken my measure, so I already knew where the center point was also. So guys, while I'm standing up here, thanks so much for watching this video with me. Don't forget to check those other videos that popped up there during the video. Take a minute and subscribe to my channel, click that up there. Right down here, I got a link to my website, so many more videos, so much more stuff. It's organized really well. And I got some additional videos for you guys to watch over here on the right. Thanks so much again for watching. You guys have a great one.